Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's troubled times right now with all the coronavirus things. In this video, I'm going to be using the Augoror Navy issue to try a new thing that I've never tried before. And I've never seen anyone try this before. And I think also it's for good reason. And now that is using a buffer tanked armor tank in the Abyss. You always see passive shield tanks because they're shield regens, but guess what, armor does not regen, so it's obviously not going to be a good idea because you won't get that HP back, that you get lost. So my strategy here is so that I'm doing as much buffer as possible. You can see here 92k EHP, and I've got just a small armor repair just to get it back after each wave. Now I'm going to be running Firestorm filaments, and this will make so that I have even more EHP, armor EHP, which will make it so that we'll have crazy amounts of buffer. Hopefully we'll be able to survive the wave. The plan is that, hopefully I'll be able to survive the wave, and then after everyone's dead, I'll just repair up with a small armor repair, or at least when we're approaching the end. So let's start this. Hopefully it'll go good. The reason I'm using the Augoror Navy issue is because the Augoror Navy issue has Mark Cruiser bonuses to ship armor hit points, so it naturally is a very good buffer armor tank. And I'm on the test server because, as dumb of an idea this is, I prefer not to lose the 100 mil ship on the live Tranquility, and instead I'm testing this on the test server because I'm pretty sure we're eventually going to die. And in fact, I think I will do this until the very end, until we actually die. You can see a lot of capital ships just undocked out here. I wonder what they're doing. Chilling out here. Seems like there's people in them as well, not just empty ships, because often you'll find on the test server you'll find empty ships lying around, because since everything is basically free here, you just buy it. As many times people will just buy a ship and then just they'll just leave it flying or abandon ship, because there's no point in keeping it because nothing is really worth anything here. So let's go and activate. We're going to start with the T2 and we're going to do Firestorm to get that epic buffer. Oh wait, I didn't put any ammo. We've got ammo, but we didn't put the... Just going to wait a bit until the filament lets me in. Seems like, I noticed the stuff in general is a little bit slow on the test server, and I think it's because CCP has no reason to really dedicate large amounts of resources to the test server. Obviously they do need to have some resources dedicated to the test server, but it's obviously a lot more important for them to dedicate most of their resources on Tranquility, because that's where we actually are playing for real. This fit is really just for fun. It's not actually to be a serious fit. So let's see now. We're in the Plasma Firestorm, and I'll start with some conflag. Let's see how much EHP we have right here. 147k EHP. I want to go for this Harrowing Vedmak first because I think he'll do crazy amounts of damage. We've got 25 kilometer range on this ship, which will make it so that... Okay, we'll go for the Tangling since he's going so fast. Keep at range of this guy. Use a bit of a Webifier right here. And a conflag to get a bit of extra damage. Keep at range. What's our range of the conflag? 7k. Okay. But if we keep trying to go away, then, you know, he's going to eventually... Since he's faster than me, keeping range at 10k shouldn't be an issue. It's just going to keep up transversal. So let's see now. We kill this Tangling, and then we'll go for the Vedmak afterwards, because that's where the majority of the damage is coming from. Let's see now. Are we taking any significant damage from this? What? This is going so slowly. Look at that. Look at that buff attack, man. Oh. Hey, yo, Vedi. No, you don't got no power here. Seems like we're gonna have to go with Scorch since our range is way too small. But it looks like this is gonna be not much of a big issue, at least in the agitated filament we're in. I opened my inventory because I thought maybe you could see what it is, but that was a bit dumb. Because we've already activated the filament, so obviously we're not going to see it. Let's keep it range actually, 25 kilometers, because if we can actually, we can't kite the Vedmak, but it will perhaps be a harder time for him to hit me. Actually, probably it won't, but let's see if we can sneakily get out of his range maybe we can make him reset his disintegrator. You can see here we've got this reactive armor hardener as well. That's going to make it a lot, our resistances for specifically the Triglavians a lot greater, so he's not going to really do much to me. So here we're getting more. Oh yeah, we should use drones as well. Don't forget the drones, you know, don't forget the drones. Don't forget the drones, okay. Look at we're not taking any, like hardly anything is destroyed. What, 15%? There's obviously going to be a big issue when there's like lots of damage on grid. Obviously we're going to die really quickly, but in these agitated filaments doesn't seem to be that much of an issue. He's doing a lot of damage. He's getting this stuff spooled up real good actually, because we can't, it seems really hard. He's just kiting me really hard, this Vedmak. And the problem is Conflag is going to have that tiny range, so I don't think it's really going to do much. Let's just see if we can actually get into Conflag range. I want to just try. We've not got anything that's holding me in place. Let's just, look, we're going to hardly repair anything from this. Let's activate the Conflag. You can't even notice the armor repair moving because it's just so repairing so little. Okay, so we can't seem to hit this. Gonna have to use Scorch for this. We got so little DPS. We should have perhaps put a heatsink on one of them so we do a bit more DPS. This is horrendous DPS, and in fact we'll do that next round because it seems like our tank is pretty good, but our DPS is really bad, which is really, when we're facing Triglavians, DPS is definitely our tank because we want to kill them as quickly as possible to get the DPS off us. They're spooling up, their DPS is just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger as time goes by, but we've soon killed this Vedmak, so it should not be any issue at all. How much DPS do we have with Scorch? 230. Okay, I wonder how much do we have with Conflag. 350. Okay, so if we have a heatsink or even 2 heatsinks, then we'll probably have about 500 DPS, and that's a lot more reasonable. Let's activate the armor repair, so we just repair our armor from here. We can make our way to the bioadaptive cache, and in fact let's forget about that because we're on the test serve, we don't need to worry about loot right here. So let's unlock that and make our way slowly but surely. What? We are so slow with this Afterburner. 400. What? I think it's because we've got all these armor plates. So look, if we take these off, we got 655. Look how this is like almost the speed of some cruisers when they don't even have any prop mod at all, and we're cutting 450 with the Afterburner. Oh my god, that's crazy. So it seems like this buffer tank setup has issues with repairing. Obviously it's going extremely slow. We're not really repairing. You can't even see the bar move from this small armor repairer. I mean, obviously they see it moved a bit with my mouse there, but it's really is not doing much. But it seems like it's so far working. I feel like that was one of the worst waves we could have been against because the Triglavians obviously will be able to apply full damage to us since we're so damn slow, and they'll do crazy amounts of damage and also spool up their damage, which is also a big issue. We just keep preparing this right here. 33k. Okay, I wonder if we can get to 35k before we get to this game. Probably not. It seems like it's going very slowly. It's not even a regular. It's not even a regular T2. It's not even a normal T2 armor repair. It's a meta armor repair unit like the T1. It's the compact one we're using here. I wonder if I could fit the T2 one actually. Let's see if we can fit the T2 one. Now, please come back in drones. It's something I have to set up on the test server. Okay, so we can actually use a small T2. So we can perhaps use the T2 one later. The T2 armor repair seems like a better idea. So we just get a bit of extra, you know, some of our HP back. I wonder if we could perhaps even have a medium armor repair, you know. Maybe a medium armor repair could be good. Just to have like a small ability to recharge our tank. Let's see now, medium armor repair. Nah, we can't fit that due to fitting issues. Maybe if we had some power grid implant, we could get some extra power grid and fit that in. Because, I mean, we tanked the room pretty well. So if we could just get this back, then we could probably survive even half of the waves. And our time is obviously absolutely garbage. Absolute rubbish. Okay, this should be no issue right here. Take on of this. Let's see now, let's go to the gate, make our way, because it's just gonna take forever. The time to go to the gate is gonna take a long time here. Let's see now, use our pulse lasers to pulse this blast needle away. Rogue drones, obviously, one of the least DPS, lowest DPS waves, at least if you've got the resistances. When I do my T5 runs in Nagila and electrical sites, then you can actually have issues with the drones if they spawn a certain type, which you have low because in the T5 electrical ones you're gonna have reduced overtaking damage. We're gonna have reduced EM resistance in the T5 electricals, and if it has happened sometimes that a lot of spark needles spawn, and spark needles do EM damage, and that's going to be a big problem because EM damage is what you've got reduced in the electrical sites, along with the Gila having innate bad EM resistances due to the shield tank nature of it. Since shield tank usually has bad EM resistance, it's going to make it so that there's a big issue when we have lots of spark needles, and it has happened sometimes. I say, whoa, I needed to overheat my shield booster then when I was against those spark needles. So these spark needles here, these drones, no issue here, absolutely no issue. Go to the transfer conduit. Let's see now. I'm curious how the Charybdis tyrannos wave will be actually, because I can see the Charybdis tyrannos wave being quite hard, because it's going to be hard for me to get under his guns before he kills me. But then again, we have such a good buffer, so we probably will be able to survive the initial strikes by him from actually getting to Charybdis. But then when we actually are under Charybdis' guns, we're going to hardly take any damage at all, and we should be safe from there. There we go. Let's see if we can set the hotkeys, because I'm not exactly sure how you set the hotkeys, but I think there's a drones one. Return drones. Is there any? All drones return to drone bay. Shift R. There. Reassign. Okay, good. Transfer conduit. Let's go. Let's see what next wave we get over here. Hope it's an easy one, so we can get to the T3s quicker. Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about. Charybdis tyrannos. Let's start our armor repair just to get a bit of HP back, but it doesn't seem like it doesn't. I think we're gonna definitely survive the initial cruise. The most dangerous part is this initial cruise to get to Charybdis. After that, we should have no issues. Out with the drones. I wanna start doing damage. You wanna just get to Charybdis under Charybdis' guns, then we should be safe. You know, it's funny because I'm doing all these like meme or like these joke fits in this T2 one right here. I remember once actually losing my Gila. I remember actually losing once a Gila in a T2 site when I started doing Abyss, and it was quite funny how I actually managed to die there, because T2 is just so easy, and a Gila, like, what? How are you supposed to die there? What happened was that I believe a Charybdis managed to do some kind of like a wrecking shot, and this made it so that he just blew through my shields. I had a shield buffer Gila, and the shield buffer Gila obviously is gonna have very good survivability, but was not enough to not get annihilated by Charybdis tyrannos' crazy accuracy and crazy wrecking shots. We can see that there's a cruiser now orbiting him, and I will always notice that there seems to be one or two cruisers orbiting Charybdis. I don't know why. This cruiser over here is not providing Charybdis with any particular reps or anything, so I find it a bit strange. Now we want to put some Scorch, because this guy is, I believe, out of the optimal range of Scorch, and I think the Scorch at this 9 kilometer range will do a bit more than the conflag at the real mid-range, this 9 km range you're at right now. But we want to actually put these drones on FPL this, and we want to get close now. Now, time seems to be a bit of an issue in these sites, but I don't think it will be that bad, at least for the agitated or T2 ones we're doing right now. You can see that we're really just tanking like a boss. We absolutely do not care. We just go straight through with this armor. It's really, actually, I didn't expect it to be this good. I thought it would be dying quite quickly, actually. But then again, it is only T2, you know. I think maybe we would die in a T3. But we are going to upgrade the armor repair. Going to use a medium armor repair and then use a power grid implant. I think that'll be a good way to get the repair up, so in between waves we can repair. I think that'll do a lot better. And perhaps even we could replace an energized adapter nanomembrane with this one, this fourth one, with a heatsink, because this I don't think is doing much since it's a fourth module. Modules in EVE Online obviously have those diminishing returns, and the more modules of the same type you add, the worse the efficiency is going to become. So if we have just one energized adaptive nanomembrane, it's obviously going to be really effective. Then we add another one, it's going to be worse than the previous one, and then another one is going to be even worse, etc. And 4 modules is going to reduce the efficiency by a massive margin. Now we get here close to Charybdis and start shooting with the conflag, and as you can see, Charybdis doesn't seem to be able to do much at this range because we've got such a crazy amount of transversal. We're going really slowly, obviously, but we are still really close. Charybdis has got battleship guns. We are cruisers, so we can kite this or speed tank this. Not much of an issue at all. Time, obviously, for T2 really bad. Aguila could probably do this in perhaps 5 minutes. A worm, even I know, or not a worm, because worms are not actually that good in the biz due to their bad capacitor, but I know that my retribution can do T2s a lot slower than this. I mean, a lot faster than this, and that is obviously saying a lot since the retribution is a frigate. This is a cruiser. Should be able to do a lot faster. But we'll make the modifications to our ship, and actually I think it'll go really good then. You know what? We can actually make the modifications now. So if we go here and remove this, put this for the heat sink, there we go. And we need something that will give us about 8% to power grid, and I'm not sure if we could do that, but perhaps there is an implant that reduces the power grid of our weapons, also an implant that gives bonuses to power grids, or reduces the power grid usage of the weapons. So we get close now. Now this is quite funny how we're almost running out of time just for the distance we are, because we're just so damn slow. Let's look here. This is really nice, actually. I didn't expect to have this much remaining HP. I thought we would be burning in structure at this time. 21k EHP left, or HP left. The EHP is a lot more, obviously, because of the resistances we've got here. You know, I was surprised that we've got arm resistances that are not equal. I thought we would get equal arm resistances due to Charybdis doing omni damage. Maybe it could be the reactive armor repair is trying to compensate for the lower one so that it's equal resistances across the board. Maybe that's how it works. I'm not exactly sure how the reactive armor repair works, but I would have expected equal resistances since Charybdis does omni damage. The Augoror Navy issue, in my opinion, is one of the most ugly ships in the game. I think it looks horrendous, especially now that it's been broken apart into pieces. You can see here, it looks really crap, honestly. I think this looks so bad of a ship. Many people will probably say that, oh, my Augoror, who have had really good experiences in the Augorors and think it looks so good. But honestly, I just think this looks absolute trash. No offense to Augoror pilots. I mean, obviously, your own opinion. But in my opinion, this Augoror does not look great. Like, I think it's just so weird because it's got like very angular shapes over here, and then it's got a round shape, and it just looks. I think the shape just looks weird, and I would hope they had done a redesign soon. Let's see now. Okay, get back into known space, and let's go and do a little trip to the restock. Alright guys, I'm going to have to cut it short for now because the video became really long. Running the T3 will be in the next video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys later.